Hey guys, Peiko sent in a story of an encounter that he had, and I'm going to read it from my phone, so if I seem to be looking away from the camera, I'm not doing it to be rude, I'm just reading what he sent. This is what he sent in. He said, "This encounter was about 10 to 15 years ago on the north end of Ulagal Lake in the Flats. For those not familiar with this area, it's in the northeast Oklahoma. Usually around the middle of May to the end of May, the mayflies hatch on the lake, and it's a great time to do some serious catfishing. It wasn't unusual to catch fish that weighed from 5 to 40 pounds on a rod and reel, and was a lot of fun. I had a small 14-foot John boat that was perfect for the shallow waters in the flats, and I fished out of. I used a large trolling motor to power it, probably 5 miles per hour top speed, but it was perfect for what I was using it for. I called my friend Dan and asked him if he wanted to join me the next night to do some fishing. He was excited to go. Him and I had known each other for over 20 years, and we both worked together for the same office. Dan arrived the next night around 8 p.m. and we started loading the truck and boat with all of our equipment. We sat around for a bit and discussed where we would go and where we would unload the boat. We just decided that anywhere in the flats would work just as fine, as long as we could get the truck to the water. When we arrived to the lake, we put the boat along with all of our tackle, ice chest, and other needed equipment. It was a great night for fishing. There was little wind and not much moonlight, and the mayflies were thick on the water. We locked the truck and we were off. We were headed to one of the creek channels where the water was about 6 to 8 feet deep. We put out an anchor and started baiting up, trying to get the first catch. The bait of choice when mayflies are out is crickets. The big cats tear them up. The only light we were using inside the boat so we could see what we were doing. There is a little light, just enough to see the water from the moon. I had just got the bait in the water and boom, Dan just hooked the first fish. It weighed about 4 pounds and we were off to a good start for the night. One after the other we were catching some nice sized cats. We had reeled the poles in to take a break and drink a cup of coffee when we heard something moving around the bank, which was about 40 feet from where we were. I plugged in my spotlight and didn't see anything, so I just wrote it off as deer. We finished our coffee and we started fishing. It was about 11 or 12 when I looked at my watch and we had quite a few fish to clean. So we brought in the poles and started cleaning the fish that we had caught. About 5 minutes into cleaning the fish, something made a loud splash near the bank. I shined my light in the direction and again we seen nothing. After we got all the fish cleaned and into the ice chest, we pulled anchor and was headed into the shallows when another splash occurred, but this time it was in front of the boat. Mind you, it's dark down there, but still enough light to see your way. And you're not going to break no speed records with the trolling motor. We didn't think much about the splash a bit ago because the skeeters were getting their fill and we were just wanting to get off the lake. We were trolling along and talking about who got the biggest fish, and when all of a sudden the boat hit something. There wasn't nothing out there where we were to hit, but it rocked the boat and we heard another small splash in front of the boat again. I told Dan to grab the spotlight and to see what was in front of us in the water to find out what was in our way. It was like we ran up on a log or something. When we shined the spotlight in front of us, we could see something large swimming in front of us. I couldn't really make out what it was at first. I asked Dan if he could tell what the hell that was. My first thought was an alligator. It was huge, but it wasn't a gator because it had hair. And to my knowledge, there weren't no gators in northeast Oklahoma lakes. I couldn't believe that what I was seeing. It wasn't swimming fast, but enough to stay well ahead of us. Dan kept the light on it, and we were following it for some damn reason. It was big enough that if I wanted to, I could have swamped us easy enough. We cut back towards the channel we were supposed to be in, and the damn thing turned toward us. When it did, we seen its face, and noticed arms and legs. Its face was human-like, but with hair all over, kind of a red, dark color. It was following us, but keeping about 30 or 40 feet back. Dan took the light off it, and I asked him to put the light back on it. He said he did not want to because it creeped him out. I told him it is best to know where the damn thing is than not to. So, light went back up. It was coming up side of us. That damn motor couldn't go any faster. We were almost to the truck when it stood straight up. We were in the water about 3 feet deep, and this thing was huge. I remember Dan telling it to get out of here like it was some kind of a dog or something. I thought it was funny. It was just standing there, swaying back and forth. It was still close and not moving. When we got to the bank, Dan threw one of the bigger fish fillets out towards it, and it let out a yell like we've never heard in my life. Must have pissed it off by throwing the fish to it. It was so loud that my insides rattled. It echoed all across the lake, very unsettling, and I had the truck loaded and we could see this massive creature when we were driving away. I haven't shared this encounter till this moment. Dan and I still talk about it now and then, but we never went back down there to fish under the mayflies since that happened. Thinking back on what happened that night, that old thing never meant us no harm. I think it was just interested in what we was doing out there so late at night and decided to go see for himself what all the ruckus was about. But that yell, I will never forget. He said the yell was just bone rattling, probably something like what some of the vocals I've posted on here were like. I've heard a lot of those. Pecos has a lot of good stuff. He has a lot of good encounters. He's went deeper into the woods than most people I know. Probably deeper than most coon hunters around here. Very interesting story. I've heard this story a lot from the old timers that have now passed, that lived in Old Allowee. They share a lot of the same stories. It's very interesting to me that this thing, you know, is curious, because I know when we go fishing we hear noises and stuff around camp, and sometimes there's, you know, a quiet night, and sometimes there's a night where it's pretty active. So if y'all have any encounters, feel free to send them to me at abnormal_investigations@yahoo.com. You can remain anonymous. We're going to go out in the field, I think, here pretty soon. We'll do a video, see what we can find. I got some good locations mapped out on Google Earth that's been sent to me. It's supposed to be some possible dens, huts, footprints, stuff of that nature. We'll go take a look at it. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button so you don't miss our new videos coming out. I have a bunch more coming out. I hope you enjoy the video I just put out before this one of the photos. Pretty cool photo sent in by another person I have contact with that has great stuff. And I look forward to posting more and sharing them with you guys. Have a great night, and I enjoy you all watching very much.